Hey guys, Room Picker here, and today we are going to be picking another challenge lock. This is Bearsback number 23. It's a collaboration with Thumper, and you can see it says Bearsback Bigger number 23 on there, and it's going to be a Schlage Everest Primus challenge lock, and on the key it's engraved Bearsback and Thumper. So this one was a very fun lock. In a short while we're going to see here a close-up of some of the engravings that they did on the lock. You can see that it's engraved BK number 23. There's the face of the lock, and I'm going to show off the check pin hole here right there. This is to verify that it's legit Everest. So we put it in the vise. We're going to go ahead and start picking this here in a second. We're going to be using top the keyway with 50 thousandths and using my hook 7 and 18 thousandths, and I have a Reed Witt special finger pin pick. We're going to get the check pin in the back. So I'm recording this a little bit differently than I normally do. This is post picking commentary. And what I'm doing here is I'm pushing up the pins past the countermilling and threading to get into the deep fall set that tells me it's time to set the check pin. And it's kind of just an experiment to see if I like this better or not. I recorded probably like 8 videos like this with no audio, and I'm just going to record the audio over it just to give a reaction in it, and also it allows me to open up more time to record, so I don't have to wait for the kids to go to bed to be quiet, where I can just record anytime and then just later in the day record audio. So we went through the stack, everything feels set. We're going to check this back pin here. This is honestly probably the fastest pick of Everest Primus that I've ever picked. It actually surprised me when I got that open. I was fully expecting it to have to set a couple more pins after I moved that check pin. But we were able to get it open. Here we are going to zoom out and just show that it's in the pick position, and going to look at the bitting on the key. You can see it's a hand cut key by Thumper and Bearsback. We're going to lock it back up and insert the key and show that it works. Now I had to turn it, I can turn it left and right, but I can only pull it out if I turned it 360 for some reason. I think it might have, one of the pins might have got caught in the counter milling or something like that. So now we're going to go move the camera down so we can gut this. And I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do this process. Hopefully by me doing post commentary and talking over a little bit, there'll be less dead silence, and it might be a little bit more interesting while we're gutting. I still like to include this in the video as more of a quote unquote honesty check, but I don't know. It's just something, my own personal preference. There's no rules regarding it or anything. Right now I'm checking to make sure that the spring didn't fly out when I was trying to jump that detent out. It appears to be stuck in there, so I just left it in there. So let's go ahead and insert the key. We're going to go pull that core out. Always shim. I did get some shims for Christmas. The ones that Dusty and Wendy gave me, Moon Jr. seemed to have done something with, and yeah, I need some shims, so I asked for them from Santa, and Santa gave them to me the stocking stuffer. So one of the things that is really interesting about this lock is how very professional and beautiful these pins were. All the pins were cut exceptionally well, and the counter milling in this lock was actually fairly effective. I had to push up decently hard on the pins to shove them past the counter milling. They kind of acted like barrels. I didn't need to float pick it or really adjust. I lightened up on tension, but I didn't need to float pick it to get past the counter milling. So it's not matched counter milling, but it definitely was effective. Now there was threading on one, counter milling on 2, threading on 3, countermilling on 4, threading on 5, countermilling on 6 in that chamber. And here we're just going to go ahead and organize these pins real quick. And then we're going to take the pins out of the Bible. So one of the things that a lot of people have been asking me about is why I do challenge locks and not stock locks, and I do some belt ranking locks. My goal and my hope for this channel is it's going to be a historical catalog of different challenge locks. You know, Panda Frog has his website, which is really awesome. Definitely check it out, where you can track your challenge locks. But it's very frequent that challenge locks either break or they get lost in the system. So having a place where you can historically document them for posterity and just to show the hard work that people put into them, I think is important. And so by historically cataloging them and having the belief that it's important to do so, we create these videos, and I create these videos and put out this content. So by doing so, we are hoping to promote the creativity of the community and also showcase different creators in the hard work that they put into it. So here we are getting close to getting the rest of the pins out of the Bible. Just about done here in a second. Now, one thing I'm going to bring up while we're kind of killing some time is 4 eyes. The first lock is done, and second lock will begin here on Thursday. So I'll start making the pin work. And speaking of pin work, perfect timing. Oop, little camera shake. Here is that beautiful pin work in the check pin I was talking about earlier. You can see how immaculate that these serrations are, and like definitely a lot of work went into these. Here's the threading and countermilling in the chambers. I tried looking at the core in a couple different angles because sometimes it's hard to show it on camera. There was some threading in the Bible. I did have a hard time showing that on the camera, so in a minute here you'll see me take that plug off screen because I got to look at it really close. I was having a hard time looking at it while holding the camera, but it was threading on 1, 3, and 5 is what was in that core. So I'm trying to get a couple different camera angles, not really cooperating, so here in a second I'm just going to pull it off and look at it up close. But in the meantime, you can see the closer up with the bidding on that key. So that's about it for Bearsback 23.